Well, hey y'all. Today I am getting ready to start the very long, I'm going to admit, process to make chiles rellenos. It is a stuffed poblano pepper and we're about to get into it. It's been a long time since I've made these, probably at least a couple, 2-3 years, because they're a little bit longer process, but I've been wanting them so bad recently, so I finally said, time to suck it up, Buttercup, do the work, because it is 1,000,000,000% worth it. And so here we go. I have my poblano peppers, which I'm going to mention very quickly. I believe I may have mentioned it in any other videos. The best kind to have are going to be somewhat triangular shaped. I will show you why. They're going to sit, and as soon as when you need to flip them, it's easy to do so. It's not always easy to do with other ones that are not triangular shaped. This one is also triangular, so that will be a little bit easier. The other kind are typically somewhat cylindrical a lot of times, so I will take those and put those in between the triangular shaped ones. Make life easy for yourself. There we go with that. Then I have one last one. Let me see where it's going to fit. I think I'm going to put this one back up over here. And then this one, hopefully, well, I can fit it right here. Now, it doesn't matter that that little tail is kind of hanging off the comal, the griddle. Not a biggie. We're going to start to toast them. I've got it at medium, not quite medium heat. They're going to need to toast each side. The ones that are more cylindrical shaped, you're going to want to have it on all quote-unquote 4 sides. Both of these sides you're going to want, and then on the top and on the bottom. But then the triangular shaped ones, of course, is a lot easier because then you can do it only the 3 sides. But we will get there momentarily, and I'm going to keep these on here for a few minutes, and then once they're ready to flip, I will let y'all see what they look like. These are getting close to where I'm ready for them to be flipped over. You can see that it's starting to get a little bit of a charred look. It's certainly, I would love to have it more charring all over here, but that is not connecting to the griddle. So there's only but so much as I can do about it. I'm going to put that on that side, put this one on this side. That one's also got that charring just right there, and that's it, but it is what it is. It's got a beautiful charring on it. See that? Alright. And the ones, of course, a lot of people that I know, like my former mother-in-law, she can put these over an open flame, which is beautiful for her. Unfortunately, I don't have that. She has a gas stove there in Mexico. So there we go. They are all turned. I will probably leave them on there for about another 5 minutes, and then they will flip one more time. I will let y'all see them before I put them into a bag. After this, they will be put in a bag and sweat for a little while until they've cooled down a little bit, and that helps to continue to cook them from the inside out. I'll be back. Alrighty, so we've got several of these chiles. They're starting to look really good. This one, if you can see, it's starting to dribble a little bit on the comal, on the griddle, but it's starting to look pretty good and toasted. This side looks like it needs just a teeny little bit more time. I remember that I definitely saw a couple of these. They were looking good. This one's looking pretty good. It's probably not going to toast a whole lot more on any of the sides. So I will show you momentarily. I don't want to get too close to that griddle. This one is looking really good. It got every side is very well toasted. I will show y'all right over here. I have a Walmart bag, and this is where I'm going to put all of these chiles once they're done toasting. And it'll just get closed off just like that. One little teeny wraparound, and that's that. I will put the rest of them in there as soon as they are ready. All of my chiles are in this bag, and they're going to rest. They're going to sweat, and I will be back probably in about another hour and change to start to peel them, and I will show you how that goes when I'm back. I've had these chiles in this bag for in between an hour and a half to 2 hours, so they've had plenty of time to sweat. They're now lukewarm, more all cool to touch, so that means that they should be time to start to peel. You're going to take whatever part that looks somewhat burnt. I'm going to try to make sure that my fingers stay out the way. You're going to start to peel off that little bit of skin. That is what you're looking to take off. You will not be able to peel all of that skin off. That is not the goal. You just want to peel off anything that will come off that is that extra layer. I'm going to see if I can add a little bit more light so that y'all can see a little bit better what's going on. If you have any doubts about how to do this, feel free to check out the videos. I have one for green spaghetti and then also one with huevos con rajas that may have a little bit better explanation maybe than even this. And pretty much it's the same thing on each and every side. You're not going to be able to get all of that off. You just do what you can and leave the rest. It is what it is. Who cares? Okay, it appears that this is the part that I've already kind of peeled a little bit. I'm trying to figure out where I have not peeled and where I still need to go, but I'm sure that y'all can get the gist. This is, being honest, this part and then what will come next are pretty much my least favorite parts of this process, which is one of the main reasons that I have not made these in so long, but it's part of the process. Because if you don't do it, then it doesn't turn out nearly as well. So it is what it is. I'm thinking that this is probably about as good as I'm going to be able to get it. There's these pieces of the peel I'm not really able to get to, so it's going to be very difficult to get any more skin off. I keep on seeing pieces that I'm like, oh wait, and I think it's probably a little bit my OCD. There are some people that they just they rub it down and that's about all. You do you. Like I said, this is my OCD's going crazy because I want to peel every single little bit that I see that's got just a little bit of that skin that could detach and all that. So you do you. If you don't feel like it's really necessary, feel free to do less. If you feel like more is necessary, you do more. You do you. Whatever that you feel like is best, you do that. And that one I think I'm going to put off to the side. I'm going to do the rest of these in the meantime, and then I will be back with the next step in the process. The next step, now that I've got these chiles, they've been skinned, pelados as I can get them, I'm going to open them up. I've got this knife. I'm going to open it on a side. That is for multiple reasons. And of course, now you can see there's several seeds and veins. If you have veins in there and you don't like the heat, you're going to want to take those out. Be very careful because sometimes they can also tear into that chile. And then you have an opening which is going to become possibly a problem when it's time to fry them up. Otherwise, you can take them. I'm going to pour out that water that's on the inside. I don't know if you could see it at all. But then the next thing that I want to do is I want to start taking out those seeds. Because those seeds, they do not cook. And it's a very unpleasant texture once you get it in your mouth if you accidentally miss one. So even you can see down towards the bottom, there's only a very few. I don't know if y'all can see. Now there was only maybe about 4 or 5 at an extreme most. In the bottom it was about 10 maybe, but here up at the top you can see there's a lot right there next to where the stem would be. So you're going to want to take and kind of just rub your finger along there and try to get as many of them to come off of there as you can, and then you will take that same bag that you used to sweat the chiles in. You can take that and dump out those seeds into there. It doesn't have to be time consuming, but it often is for me. I don't know about anybody else. I know that my former mother-in-law will do these 40 and 50 at a time, so I doubt that she is as OCD about it as I am. She probably still leaves a couple of the seeds, but I try to make sure that they're as empty as I possibly can. And it's not perfect by any stretch, but it's getting there. This one actually is not got nearly as many seeds as what I'm used to many of the Poblano peppers having, but thankfully I'll take what I can get. I think I might just try to use, I will probably use one of the smaller ones to take out the veins so that I can show y'all how to do that, because the ones that I'm taking the veins out of are going to be the ones that my boys will be eating. This one I will probably eat because it's a larger one and I don't mind the spice, I don't think. Hopefully I won't mind it once it's cooked. So every once in a while it's so spicy I can barely handle it, but you can see that's generally cleared out. There probably might be one or two in there, but especially once you get it out of the oil, once it fries, anything that's up here at the very, very top, you're not really going to be able to cut into it and be able to eat it anyways. And even if you do, then you can always take the seeds out right then. So that one's ready. I will do a small one and take out the veins, and then I will do the rest off camera. First, you're going to want to try to get a hold of those veins, because it might be a little bit more difficult. This one doesn't have nearly as many seeds as what I expected either, but I'm going to take those out. And you're going to grab onto the vein from the very top of the chile, right up here towards where you have the seeds. You're going to want to grab onto that vein. You can see, maybe, I think you might be able to see it. I'm trying to get it, make sure that I got it in the camera good enough. Alright, I got it and I'm pulling it out. Okay? And then you can see I've got a teeny little bit of that vein. You got to be very, very careful with it. Make sure that you're not going to pull too hard so that you don't end up with an open area, which of course it appears. Now I do. Well, look at there. But hallelujah anyhow. At least that's not a huge, huge open spot. It's not a big deal. I will show you in a little bit how that you can do this if you don't already know. There's many people that probably already know a little bit about chiles rellenos, but this is the way that I learned how to do them. So obviously it is the way that I also like them, because it is what I'm the most used to. Okay, and there we go with that. That one's as empty as I can get it. Looks pretty good. And I've taken out the veins as far as I know. So there we go, and I will be back as soon as these are done. Alrighty, so the next step, we're going to stuff them with cheese. Oh, yum. Alright, we're just going to start to just cut this cheese, just gently, whatever, into approximate sizes. It's no way that you need to worry about the size of it at the moment. Because that will depend on each of your chiles, how much of the cheese that you're going to stuff in there. I have seen videos, and at the very beginning when I first started making these, I would use the already grated cheese. And I come to find out that when you use it from block cheese and cut it up like this, it melts nicely. And not only that, you get more cheese, which I fail to see where that's a bad thing unless you're trying to do lactose free. In the meantime though, I'm just cutting it up. Y'all can see it's by no way, shape, or form is it even pretty cutting, but so long as it is cut in a way that you will have the ability to put it into the chile. And then once you figure out how much that you need in each one, then you can worry about cutting any parts that you don't need, things like this. I'm going to start out with this big one. And of course, the bigger piece of cheese is probably going to go towards the top. And it looks like that's going to need to even get cut even for that one. And I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. We're going to put that up here. You want to stuff it as well as you can, but you also want to make sure that you will be able to close that up. That is the whole gist of it. Let's see. Let me see if I can do it like that. That's still going to become a problem very shortly. So I'm going to kind of just cut that off right there. And I will show you what I'm doing. I'm going to try to make sure that this stays easily within camera. I'm putting it like down in the middle, right down there. And then I can stuff this right up here a little bit. Okay. And then I can take this and kind of just put it into little pieces, and then I can kind of stuff those a little bit in there, and that way you can have cheese throughout your entire chile, and it's not a big deal at all. Now, the other last thing, I think I'm going to actually cut this a little bit because that's going to actually be helpful for me. I can put a little bit towards the bottom of the chile right here at the very tip, and then you can put it there because, you know, cheese throughout the whole thing is like, yeah. Okay. And then the other last thing that I'm going to worry about at this particular moment is to make sure, obviously, when you get them into the oil, you don't want this opening up and having all the cheese spill out, because then what's the gist in having it there? Enter most cooks' weapons. A toothpick. All right. You can take that and kind of, some ladies do it just, you know, across, and that's going to still, it's going to be a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. All right. And hopefully that don't stay too, hopefully that will get covered up with some of the egg, and I'll show you that shortly, and it won't be a problem, hopefully. If it is, well, then it is. But I'm going to just put this aside. You can't see it right off camera. Let me see if I can do this. Right over here, I got a plate. I'm going to just leave that there. I'm going to fill up the rest of these. And I might actually just do this one now that I'm seeing this one. I think I might need to do that so that y'all can see how that I do this with this one. Alright, now I'm going to have the toothpick on this side and on the other side a little bit. Not maybe a whole lot, but a little bit. Alright, and then hopefully we can turn it without ripping the chiles. Not too much. Alright, there we go. Not perfect by any stretch, but it works, hopefully. And the other thing too is on this side, I'm going to just kind of just stick it through there, because that will keep it enough. I actually might just put another one right through here. And the only thing is just obviously whenever they're getting ready to get served, just be careful, because then you know that you've got these these toothpicks in there. And actually, I'm going to try this, and if it don't work, then I just will edit this out of the video. Woo! Look at that. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Aha! Look at that. And that way, whenever you take it out of the oil, though, obviously you're going to want to just be very careful. And then, what's it called? I'm going to take off a little bit off of this side, too. So that, there we go. You'll just have to make sure that you're careful when you take it out of the oil. Make sure that you get, oops, I didn't realize that was out of the video. But I just cut these toothpicks a little bit so that it's not a big deal. But once you take it out the oil, you will definitely want to take those out so that nobody accidentally pokes themselves with that. And I will be back as soon as I'm done stuffing. I have my chiles, they're all stuffed. So I'm going to now roll them in flour. I have not ever tried any other kind of flour rather than just plain all-purpose wheat flour. So of course, if you're trying to do gluten-free, I'm not sure if any others work. Probably one thing that I have considered doing is to try some coconut flour. Although, like I said, I have not ever tried. So definitely, if you have tried to bread stuff using coconut flour, let me know. And we'll see how that works. I'm going to put this over here on the plate with the other chiles. And I'm going to get these floured up. And then they'll be just about ready to fry. Well, you can see that now is the kind of fun part, because now we're getting ready to eat in just a few minutes. I've now got the rice done, because this is always served with the Mexican rice, whether brown rice or white rice. I have made both, obviously, even for my channel. I've made both here at my house to be able to enjoy with other foods. So this is served with Mexican rice that has the tomato-based sauce in it, and also homemade tortillas. I do remember that my former sister-in-law did also make a type of a salsa to go on top of it, but she made it close to 15 years ago. I don't remember what it is, but I never made it, and it was never necessary for me. And I'm going to just show you the rest, and we're going to get this going, because the funnest part, kind of, sort of, is getting close, the eating. And here we go. I have 5 eggs over here, and I'm going to be putting the egg whites into this bowl and egg yolks in a little bowl that you probably can't see. I think it's right off screen. But I'm going to have to separate them for a little bit. Got to be very, very, very careful cracking these so that you don't end up with a little bit of yolk in that egg white. I don't think that I'm going to trust any more of this. Yeah, that's that. You want to let as much of that egg white get in there. Okay, I'm not going to let any more of that get in there because I could see that the egg yolk was starting to break apart. I'm making a mess, y'all.
Turn off the water, boys. $5,000.
Alright, now I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. That should be good. And then we are going to whip it until it gets to stiff peaks. My former sister-in-law told me that you know that it's at stiff peaks when you can take that bowl and turn it upside down and nothing is going to move. And I just did that, obviously off camera, but it is definitely at stiff peaks. Now you can add in the other egg yolks. All right. There we go. Here we got it the way that we want it. Now it's time to get these chiles in the oil. I've already had it heating up while I was getting this egg done because you want the oil to be ready to roll as soon as you're done. So we're going to just take it by that tail there, and you're going to kind of turn it around in there. Get that egg batter on there. You can see I've got the oil already. Here we go. And just like with the empanadas, you want to kind of just get some of that oil and put it over that chile so that whenever it's time to turn it over, you don't want it to be coming off of that chile. We're going to get another one. Get that in the egg batter. Get it in the oil. We're going to move this one over just a little bit. It does not take long. I will tell you that right away. Now we're going to take this one and turn it over. As long as it will turn over for me. Oh, maybe not. It still needs another minute. Alright. Alright. Yeah, it's a little bit messy because my other pan that I would typically maybe have used, it's got the rice in it. So I'm making a bit of a mess tonight. So it is what it is. Alright, now this baby's looking like it's ready. Oh yeah, it's ready to turn. Just got to get it to turn over. There we go. That one's probably just about ready. It's getting there real fast. We're going to get the next chile in there. Don't want to keep on waiting because sometimes I know that I saw recently that you can leave the eggs out, and if they're at room temperature, maybe that the batter stays a little bit more frothy a little bit longer. I don't know that, but maybe. But every time that I've made it before, the eggs were shortly out of the refrigerator, so that batter came apart pretty quick. So, all right. Okay, here we go with this one. Oh, looking pretty, looking pretty. Whoop, whoop. This is not a slow process. This is very quick. You usually only need about a minute, maybe 2 minutes per size, and then we're done. It's already getting nice and golden. I don't know if y'all can see it on camera, but it is. What you want to do is make sure that you can get that oil to drain off. as best as you can. And there it is. It's not easy per se. It's very time intensive. It's a little bit work intensive. Today was actually a lot better than what I expected it to be, so I'm not going to complain. The chiles are definitely, they're fried up. They're ready to go. I've already got my rice done. I've got my tortillas made. So we're about to eat. In the meantime, I hope that my videos are educational. I hope that they're helpful. I hope that you will like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so that you'll know every time that I'm putting up a new video. Maybe I can be of further help in the future. Hopefully with a lot easier recipes more after today. But this was something that I've been wanting for a long time, and just the fact that I had something that was a little bit more time intensive and a little bit more labor intensive the last time, it is what it is. But at the same time, I love to cook, and I love to help anybody that wants to know how to cook. I'd love to help you. There's nothing like being able to tell someone that you love, I love you, without ever having to say it. So, y'all have a delicious day.